It's the Jake and Ben Show. 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 Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Jake and Ben Show. Jake, and I'm here with Ben.
Hey now,
like always, and we got some news to talk about, and in the world of movies, of course.
Yes.
And I'll just let Ben take it from here.
Okay, let's start off with something. I wanted to talk to you about Venom, but before we do that, I'm gonna ask you if you know if it did well or if it didn't do well this weekend.
I know it did well.
Okay, so it opened up with 80 million opening weekend domestically, that is, and right now worldwide its number, not opening, just worldwide number right now is at 217 million, and it had a budget of 100 million. Now, before we go into quality of the movie, you hear that it's doing well compared to The Amazing Spider-Man 1. That opened up to 62 million. It finished off with 757 million. Amazing Spider-Man 2 opened up to 91, finished with 708. Now, Amazing Spider-Man 2, that had a much higher budget than Venom. So Venom, it's off to an amazing start. And I'm going to ask you, what does that number mean to you? Does it get you excited? Did you like the movie? Doing well is probably gonna get a sequel, depending how the weeks play out. As of now, it's made a lot. What do you think?
It's not surprising because just like the world we're in, if your movie isn't like Fantastic Four, then it's gonna make a lot of money. So it's not too surprising. I know it's like well above projections, though. If I'm correct, is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. They weren't expecting this, but I think as far as like the quality of the movie, I didn't mind it. I think it's getting some unfair backlash. I think it's a decent superhero movie. I think I just kind of enjoy, even when superhero movies now fail, I kind of just respect them and enjoy them more just because they have such a different vibe than like the traditional MCU movies. Not to like knock the MCU movies, I like them, but they all feel very similar, and this doesn't. So I liked that about it, and this movie's also kind of weird, and I liked that about it too. But yeah, if we're just talking box office for now, because I want to hear your thoughts on the movie. If I'm just talking box office, I think it's good because I do want to see a sequel. So, having it make money, I think it's definitely good for the sequel prospect. And I like seeing movies make lots of money because, I like seeing the film industry thriving. So that's all I got to say about that.
What I'll mention is that it is now the highest opening for October. Previous, holder of that record was Gravity. I think it was at like 50 million. So this far beat that.
Yeah.
Highest opening for October. The quality of the movie, I think it was a steaming pile of shit. It was a turd in the wind.
Really?
I thought it was terrible.
Oh, really?
I thought it was terrible. With that being said, I think there's some parts in there where you can have dumb fun. I think the worst part of this movie was the script. I think it was terrible. The dialogue, the story, it was just awful. And the performances I thought were horrendous. Like Riz Ahmed, I'm a fan of that guy. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Tom Hardy, big fan of Tom Hardy, but I don't know what he was doing either.
Oh my god. Wow.
I didn't know what anybody was doing here. Now, with that being said, I kind of liked the relationship between Eddie and Venom. At the same time,
yeah,
the more I thought about it, I don't need everything to be comic book accurate, but I like some elements to be there and you can go way off. I kind of missed when, the symbiote takes... Oh, well... Okay, I don't think that's a spoiler. If you're going to see Venom, you assume that's quite obvious it's going to happen. But when the symbiote takes over Eddie, I feel like that's still the same Eddie. Venom isn't pulling out what makes, the bad parts of him to make, I don't see it. It's just the same Eddie, but now he's got this symbiote. Now,
yeah,
What I'll praise it in one spot, and well, in a few spots. The first action sequence, and I'm gonna try to say this without spoilers, but there's something happens,
Like the opening
and it reminded
scene?
me of not the opening scene, but like the first big action set piece. It's not too long after Eddie gets the symbiote.
Oh, okay.
When that happens, it reminded me a lot of Upgrade. If anybody's
Yes,
seen Upgrade.
that's what I thought too. Exactly what I thought. Yes.
That it really reminded me of that. So their relationship reminded me of Upgrade less than a traditional Venom and Eddie relationship. With the action set pieces I just spoke of, like that one I think works really well, and then there's a second one towards the end of the second act, I would say. I believe maybe it's in the middle. Could even be after that. The movie was it was forgettable for me. So the only things that stood out were what I mentioned. And this second action piece, they released a clip of it online before the movie came out, and I don't want to, if somebody hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty good. I did the second action piece more so it's pretty good, but overall, yeah, I think this movie was terrible. It was awful.
Wow.
The thing I remember the most of this movie is the mid-credit scene. I don't think that's saying much for the movie.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not.
Yeah.
But if I can praise this movie for a second here, I thought it was going to be garbage just based off the trailers. And I got to say, a lot of the shit I did not like in the trailer worked a lot better in the movie. Like the turd in the wind line. What else was there?
The turd in the wind line. If you didn't like the movie, it definitely, I think it makes you laugh, because the line comes in at a time where if you're not liking that movie, it's a perfect placeholder for that line.
Yeah, it's weird, like where this comes in the movie and how the trailer presented it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil it. It's just like it's weird. The trailers are bizarre. They give away a lot of stuff like close to the end of the movie, which they probably shouldn't, and they kind of misrepresent it. I don't know. It's weird. It's a bizarre movie. It's kind of all over the place. I don't know. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a good time, and there's like, if I can say this, there's a part in this movie that I thought was going to be garbage, and it looked so dumb in the trailer. It has to do with like the final showdown. Okay. It looked so bad in the trailer.
I wanted to mention that.
And I thought in the movie it was so fucking cool and really well done.
I'm on the opposite side again. When I seen that in the trailer, I thought it looked horrendous. And I mean, with that being said, the fight was better than what I expected. However, what I'll criticize for a movie that has $100 million budget, and this scene, you see it in the trailer when the symbiotes are fighting. It looks all liquidy, and the one rips open the other, and you see Tom Hardy and Riz Ahmed. The CGI there was some of the worst for a big budget film.
They fixed
when you look
it so
at them,
much from the trailer.
Oh
the
man,
trailer
I don't think so at all. When I looked at them, it reminded me of like CGI I see on The Flash, which is a CW show. For the CW, it's okay. For $100 million big budget movie, it was terrible. And
Weird.
It just specifically when you see Tom Hardy and Riz Ahmed's face. It reminded me of watching The Flash on the CW, and there's slow motion. You see Barry Allen running, and the face just looks like clay, and not real. But
yeah,
for
I remember
CW, you can kind of be
watching
forgivable.
The trailer. I remember thinking exactly what you're thinking watching the trailer about their faces look so dumb, but I didn't get that feeling when actually watching the movie.
If you see it again, just specifically, just look at their faces in that moment. The fight itself, I mean, this is the thing. When I disconnect and I just go for dumb fun, I can kind of enjoy it. But the movie has such weird, like, continuity between, like, just the character itself. Not necessarily continuity of placement. Just of, like, with... I don't want to say it because it's a big spoiler, but just the way it ends, it's so odd.
It is odd. There is a very odd line at the end, which I didn't know how to feel about it. I don't know what Michelle Williams says. That's like at the end. I don't know if you're mentioning that specifically. But you remember that?
I mean, that kind of counts on
Yeah.
where I'm going. Yeah. And you know what I thought was really goofy, but hey, it works for the movie, I guess, is in the beginning, Tom Hardy, when you see him as a reporter, who is it the 80s or the 90s? What's he doing with the notepad? I remember that was the thing people said when the first photo came up, but what's with the notepad? And when it shows a montage of him and, of how good of a reporter he is, it just looks so corny, but I guess that's what they're going for. That's okay, but I had to laugh. There were a lot of cringe moments for me, especially when you see the relationship between Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams in the beginning. It's very, very for me, the movie was a mess, and I really wish...
That's totally fair.
I really wish, I remember in the pitch, I wasn't in the pitch meeting, but from what they had said of this Venom movie, when Sony was developing it, they were saying, hey, let's do, a horror-esque R-rated movie. Let's try to be risque. And then, you hear they go back and hey, why don't we do PG-13? Let's see how it goes. And hey, it worked out for him. There are a lot of people like you that do like it. I know, you see critics that don't. And then you look at certain audience scores and they do. And hey, you know what? If you enjoyed it, good for you. Because I wish I could have enjoyed it. I wanted to. I just couldn't.
All right. There's also a part in this movie that kind of legitimately scared me, or at least it is very bizarre tonally because there's a lot of dumb, kind of corny, laughable bits, but there's also this part that was very, very much felt like a horror movie. It was bizarre for sure. It's definitely a bizarre movie, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. But
well,
here we are.
I'm assuming there's going to be a Venom 2. If you've seen the movie, you see the mid-credit scene, I assume that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And even with me not liking this movie, I'm on board to see it too. Just work on a better script. Maybe get a different director. Ruben Fleischer, he's going to do Zombieland 2. Let him do that. Maybe bring in somebody else. Get a better script, and hey, I'm there. I really wish it would have been R-rated, though, especially for the sequel, but it's probably going to be PG-13, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
What'd you think of... I don't think this is a spoiler. At the very end of the movie, credits end, they show something that's not for Venom. It's for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
You didn't.
I liked what I saw. I just didn't like.
But you didn't like how
they put it. It was bizarre.
Yeah. I thought it was weird.
It was
however, it
end credit scenes. They are kind of selling you the next movie. It is kind of an ad, an end credit scene, but there's so much for it that works for movie fans and stuff, where they can talk about it and appreciate it, and it works. But here, it just felt like I was being sold to. It felt like an ad, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, aside from that part, did you like what you saw?
Yes, I did very much so like it. What I saw, I think that movie looks great.
Yeah. I'm the more I see, the more I get excited. They put out another trailer, I think a week before Venom came out, and then with this 3-minute scene they throw in there, I like what I'm seeing, and I think this will be a good one. Yeah,
I think so too. I'm excited for it.
Well, you know what? I want to talk about something else. So, speaking of movies I hated, I think this is the one I hate the most. Equalizer 2. Now, I bring that up only because I see that movie. It gave me a terrible headache. I walk out and I look down at my phone and I see, wait a minute, James Gunn got fired. What did he do? And then, sure, a lot of people heard about it by now. Put up some tweets, not so good tweets. Disney fires him. And you hear, hey, is DC going to go after this guy? Well, they did. And Suicide Squad 2, they got him to write the script. He's going to do they were already developing one with Gavin O'Connor, I believe. And, stuff happens. He's not on it anymore. James Gunn comes in, and he's going to be doing a script, and he might potentially direct. When I heard that got me excited for Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
What about you?
It got me real excited. And if Suicide Squad 2 is written and directed by James Gunn and it does well, at the box office, better than Guardians 3. It's going to be the perfect fuck you to Disney, and I'm kind of excited for that. I think it's definitely going to do better than Guardians 3, and it'd be nice little revenge for James Gunn, so I'm excited to see that.
Well, here's what I'll say. First,
Okay.
I'm going to backtrack. Apparently, and I hope I'm getting it right, Gavin O'Connor, he's the one who did the accountant with Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Okay, him, yeah. He was on to do Suicide Squad 2. He was writing a script with someone else, and apparently what's going around is that what he wanted to do was very similar for what's going to happen with Gotham City Sirens. So, somewhere along, the lines, they must have called up James Gunn and said, hey, Suicide Squad 2, you interested? And he's doing the script. Like I said, it gets me excited. However, what also doesn't get me too excited, maybe not as much as you, is that the only worry is DC and Warner Brothers, they've gone through so many directors that I kind of don't believe it's happening until they start shooting.
No, I understand.
Like with Shazam, sure. I remember Shazam was supposed to be a thing. I'm like, is it going to be a thing? It just seems like it's lost in the wind here with everything going on. But then I see photos of David F. Sandberg and, Zachary Levi. They're shooting. I'm like, okay, this is going to actually happen, which coming out next April. I only believe when I see them shoot. So even with Gotham City Sirens, or Birds of Prey, not Gotham City Sirens, that was before. Birds of Prey. That's what I meant to say. So even with Birds of Prey, they've got their cast, they're casting up, which they also, I mentioned last week, they got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, somebody else, and now they got Rosie Perez in there. Even that movie, I'm not going to believe that's happening until I see them shoot, just from everything that's going on. So when I see set photos, or just even, like, hey guys, we're starting production, then I'm going to be really excited. But for now, I'm excited, and let me throw that away. Let me just throw it away. The Suicide Squad group, this, kind of a ragtag group of criminals. You can kind of liken that to Guardians of the Galaxy a bit.
Yeah.
Am I wrong there?
Yeah,
I feel like you can.
It's a team of kind of outcasts, so yeah.
Yeah.
It works. Similar.
Yeah. So when I first read that, and I had somebody tell me this the other day, and I didn't believe him because this guy always tells me fake news, and he always reads fake news websites. So I'm like, it just went through one ear out the other, and then I go on my phone, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, James Gunn. I see it on IGN, and then I look other places, and then I got really excited. I thought, hey, yeah, this kind of works, kind of in the same vein of a Guardians of the Galaxy, and especially for what they wanted to do with the first Suicide Squad. I wasn't a fan of it. However, you bring on James Gunn, get a better script, nail down what you want to do, the tone. I think it could really work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think this could be a case where the sequel is miles better than the original.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I would hope so.
Just judging by the talent involved, and yeah, I would definitely hope so. I'm with you though on it's hard to believe for now, just because you talk about DC's history, but still, I still think it would be so poetic.
Yeah, that would be, and maybe that would. I would think Guardians 3 comes out first. However, it sounds like they've halted that for the time being. Dave Bautista, he put out a lot of tweets.
Is he still pissed?
I think he's still pissed. He put out a tweet when this came out and was like, hey, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember, but he was saying like, hey, yo, look at this. That's awesome. Yo, James Gunn, I'll get in that movie for you. And then a lot of people were putting, things around. What if, Dave Bautista was Bane? And hey, you know what? Don't you think it would be weird if James Gunn doesn't give Dave Bautista, like, just even if it's minor, some role in Suicide Squad 2, if it actually happens? Like, because that guy's been the most vocal about James Gunn being fired. And
yeah,
he's,
I think it'd be perfect if Dave Bautista was in it.
He is quite a loyal guy.
Oh, yeah. He
quite
loves
a loyal
him.
Guy. Yes. Big fan of that guy.
Dave Bautista's Bane, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. I would take that.
What an idea.
Yeah. And I'd read, this was smaller pieces, but that maybe James Gunn would have more to do in the DC world. And then I think of Joss Whedon when it was first announced he's going to do a Batgirl. And then, was he really going to do a Batgirl? Was he really ever going to do one? Or is that just a, something to say to get him to do Justice League? Now, I don't think that's the case with James Gunn, but I just think of everything that's went down in DC so far, and it makes me...
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Gets me, scratching my head. But I hope it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm gonna mention something real quick, and I'll be short. I didn't give this to you on the rundown because I just thought about it. I was just thinking because of DC directors. So Patty Jenkins, there's I read this story the other day that they were gonna do a Barbie movie. It was originally going to be Amy Schumer in there, and then Amy Schumer is no longer involved in it. And then I read Margot Robbie is now going to, she was in talks to star and produce this Barbie movie. Then it came out that Patty Jenkins, might come on to do this movie. When I read this Barbie movie with Margot Robbie, is that not perfect casting?
No, that is great casting.
That is, yeah.
That's it's also unique. I'm not sure if I've heard that this was a thing, but I'm a big Margot Robbie fan. She's great.
Yeah,
and
Margot Robbie. Big fan. And hopefully she's in Suicide Squad too. She's got Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't get that Joker Harley movie.
Yep.
Only from what those writers said it was going to be. But you know what? So, last week we talked about this Star Wars live action show from Jon Favreau. There were set photos, and I'd said, hey, they're going to start filming, we're going to start hearing things. And we heard a lot within that time. So it's got a title now. It's called The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau put out a post of what it's going to be. I can read that after, but I want to talk about it was last Thursday. They put out a first photo of them filming, saying, hey, we've started production. They've announced the directors of the show. I sent you the link. Did you read the directors?
No.
Okay. I'm going to read you the directors.
Did you send me the link? Did I reply to the link? Did I say something?
You did. I just don't remember what. I think it was more so to the photo than the actual link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Anyways, what was in there? They were saying, we're starting production. Jon Favreau, he's writing and executive producing this thing. And they say, hey, here are our directors. Dave Filoni. Now, do you know who Dave Filoni is?
Yes.
Okay. Now, for people who don't, or even for hardcore Star Wars fans will definitely be happy about this. He was the man to do the Clone Wars animated series. He learned Star Wars straight from the man George Lucas. He went on to do Star Wars Rebels, and he created the new show Resistance. Animated show. Now I remember a photo came out. It was Jon Favreau posted of Dave Filoni and John at, I believe, Skywalker Ranch, and then it just got me thinking of, hey, what's going to happen? Because Jon Favreau voiced a character on the Clone Wars, Pre Vizsla, I believe. It's Mandalorian. So Jon Favreau being a fan of Mandalorians, Dave Filoni being a fan, gets me excited. I always wanted to see Dave Filoni in live action. However, he's only done animated stuff, but he's a creative. He knows Star Wars. I want to see. So it came out he's going to direct an episode, and he's also going to co-executive produce with Jon Favreau. That got me even more excited. And I'll name them all, and then we can talk more about it.
Okay.
So Deborah Chow, one of them. She's directed a lot of TV. I know she's done a feature. Don't know much about it, but she's directed TV shows like Lost in Space, Jessica Jones, Breaking Bad, Fear the Walking Dead. And this one got me really excited. Rick Famuyiwa, who directed Dope, that got me excited. One that stood out to me, which I like it, but I didn't know that she directed, was Bryce Dallas Howard. She's directed a series of shorts, and now she's going to be directing an episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, that's cool.
Which, hey, isn't that funny? Ron Howard directed Solo. The connection between George Lucas and
what was that connection? I missed that connection. What about Ron Howard?
Because Ron Howard, he was in the hell was my God, George Lucas's his movie. Second, what was the racing one?
The racing
American Graffiti.
Oh yeah.
Ron Howard being in there, him and George being friends, and then I assume that Bryce Dallas Howard would know George because of that connection there.
Are they related? I didn't know that.
You didn't know Bryce Dallas Howard was Ron Howard's daughter?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, there you go. There you go, dropping some
Oh,
knowledge.
that's funny.
there.
Now
Bryce
I'm
Dallas
embarrassed I didn't know
Howard
that. It
is
feels so obvious.
Ron Howard's daughter.
Wow. What a time
And you
to
want
be
to know
alive.
who else is directing The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Taika Waititi.
What?
Yes. Yes.
That's
That
awesome.
got me excited. Within that, it wasn't anywhere saying Jon Favreau was going to direct an episode of this. I was surprised at first, but I'm sure
would
he's going to work
assume he would.
closely with Dave Filoni. A few things to come. Now that's the official stuff. I can mention some rumors now. Some rumors are Bryce Dallas Howard and Taika Waititi may even appear in this TV show, not only just direct.
Yeah, I could believe that.
From what I read, Taika Waititi would be doing something in the vein of Korg, except he would be doing a droid.
That'd be cool.
And
That'd be great.
Nothing much was said about Bryce Dallas Howard now. With that stuff is just rumors. Another rumor was that originally people ran with this show was going to be 10 episodes. However, that was not confirmed, nor is this rumor. But making Star Wars, right there, it's a Star Wars, website. Not official, just a fan website. And I go on that website, Star Wars Newsnet. And what they believe is that the show is going to be 8 episodes, and that Dave Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa will be directing 2 episodes, and somebody else in there would be directing 2 episodes. I forget who. And in there also said that Jon Favreau wouldn't be directing an episode, which interesting, but at the same time, I'm sure he's working closely with Dave Filoni, considering it's Jon's show and Dave Filoni is co-executive producing with him.
Yeah.
So, first, I just told you a lot. What do you make of that?
Ooh. I think I gave my live reactions as I went. But, that all sounds really exciting. And, if it's 8 episodes, if it's 10 episodes, I think they're both solid numbers. I like TV shows at about that length. Not to, say everything longer is bad, but that just kind of seems to be a sweet spot. And, it's always leaving you wanting more. It never seems to dry you out. If I were to call out other Disney TV shows, like the Netflix Marvel shows, they run a tad long. So this is a nice length. That cast, Taika Waititi as some type of motion captured character sounds amazing. I'm a big fan of Korg, of course. I think he's real funny. Him directing is great. Bryce Dallas Howard directing sounds really interesting. I'm gonna love to see that. Dave Filoni doesn't get me too excited just because I'm not well versed in the animated world. I know his name and I know what he does, but I can't call myself a fan, of course, because I haven't seen anything. But yeah, Jon Favreau's Star Wars show seems like it's gonna be great.
Yes. Mandalorian. Disney streaming service.
Yes.
Now,
Boom.
there were more rumors going around. I won't talk too much because it's just rumors. I don't like too much rumors. I can get into some rumors. This one I can get into. Okay. And it was of casting for the show, which assume there's going to be a casting announcement very soon. They're shooting the show as of now, so I'm sure they're going to want to get out of rumors, speculation, and leaks. With that being said, the first name I heard was Pedro Pascal as the lead role. Now, where did I hear this? I heard this on Making Star Wars from Jason Ward. He'd also mentioned, hey, I don't know much about casting. That's not where my strong suit is. However, I've just been hearing things that Pedro Pascal will be the lead, or at least in the talks. And he had mentioned, hey, I heard Aaron Paul was going to be Cassian in Rogue One. Obviously, that wasn't the case, but then he also mentioned after... later hearing who was in the running, Aaron Paul was in the running, so maybe Pedro's in the running somewhere, or maybe he is going to be the lead in this role. Now, apparently his, agents are giving no comment, so that's not really a confirm or deny. Mm-hmm. Taking rumors out of it and saying if that's the case, I think Pedro Pascal would be fucking awesome in the lead role of the show. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the guy from Game of Thrones, correct?
Game of Thrones, yes.
Yeah, I think that's all I think that's all I know him from. But if I'm just judging off that, I think that's a great pick. I was a huge fan of him and his character in Game of Thrones. But that's I think that's all I can comment on that. I'm not sure. Has he done? What else has he been in? Are you?
He's been. Well, he was in that terrible movie I had mentioned, Equalizer 2, but
Oh,
he
was
was
he?
fine. He didn't have much to do. Yeah, he's gonna be in Wonder Woman 2. He's been.
Awesome.
I think he's in Narcos on Netflix.
Okay.
Pedro Pascal. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, so we got Game of Thrones, Narcos. He was in Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Oh yeah, he was. That's right. I remember that. Okay.
He's also going to be in If Beale Street Could Talk. That's from the director of Moonlight. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good pick. Good.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you one more thing. This was the first thing that Jon Favreau put out before the announcement of directors, and it was him announcing what the show is. It's so The Mandalorian, after stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire, before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travels of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. What do you think of that?
Solid.
Yeah.
Nothing too eye-catching. The name drop of some other characters is cool, but yeah, it's just solid. It's Star Wars stuff. Stuff,
Yeah.
I think
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited for it. And you know what we didn't mention was the picture. When you sent me that text and I just saw that picture, I thought, dang, looks nice.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I think it is great. The look.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you can tell me, like, with a synopsis like that, it's about anything, but I think, like, the big takeaway from this, and what I'm getting most excited, is just this crew. I think that's the most exciting thing about this story that we've talked about. Definitely.
I would definitely agree. The directors get me way charged up for it. I remember when this show was first being talked about. It was going to be set, I think, like 3 or 6 years after the Battle of Endor. Kind of know where it's going to take place. Heard rumors that it was going to be about a Mandalorian or Mandalore. So what really gets me charged up is definitely the directors. I was already charged up, but even more so now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the Mandalorian. Disney streaming service supposed to come out, I think, fall or winter of next year. Hasn't been confirmed if this will be a day one thing or if it'll come out after. But what would you want this to be a day one thing, or would you want this to be our Star Wars for 2020? Because I don't think we're getting a movie in 2020. We got Episode 9 coming out in 2019, December. If there was a movie coming out in 2020, we would already know. Now, they were already building sets for a movie. However, that was going to be a Star Wars story, whether that was the Mos Eisley movie or if that was the Obi-Wan movie after Solo. It's not going to be a thing. So, do we just go with gap year? Do we get this in 2019, gap year for 2020, or do we get this in 2020?
I like my Star Wars movies with some breaks so you can really appreciate it. So I'm fine if we do a gap year. I'm all these years. Okay, so let me get this right in my head. It is 2018 right now.
Yes, it is.
Episode
and in 2018, our Star Wars was Solo.
Yes, and in 2019 we get Episode 9.
Yes.
Okay, and the Disney streaming service, we're talking about if this Star Wars show is gonna come out in 2019 or if it's gonna be a 2020 thing.
Will this show, The Mandalorian, be a day one launch with the Disney streaming service, or will they wait till 2020? Which they could wait 2-3 months until 2020.
I want it to be a day one launch. I think that's what I want.
Yeah.
I think that's what I want, because
So
if this streaming service comes out, I'm gonna want some high quality original content, and this is like what we've been talking about, what we're most excited for. But yeah, I think I want this day one launch. I think that'll definitely encourage me to get it.
Yeah, I happen to think it will be, only because this is the selling point for the streaming service.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, if it is a day one, maybe let's say even a month, and this comes out maybe November or October of 2019. Next year for Star Wars, there's already going to be a ton of books and comics, so I'm going to take those away. We're going to have Clone Wars Season 7 on the streaming service. I believe that will be a day one. And if The Mandalorian comes out in 2019, we'll also have The Mandalorian, so 8 to 10 hours of Star Wars content.
Wow.
And then we'd have Episode 9. And then we would also have the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That if that's the case for 2019, that's going to be a fucking great year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of, like, for the past, 2 years, I've been wanting to get more involved with the canon and, the animated series and stuff, but I just haven't been, I've just been like, I'll do it eventually. But, maybe once it's all there on the streaming service and it's looking all nice, maybe then I'll do it, especially with the new season coming out that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Woo.
In the meantime, I'm just excited for that live action good stuff.
Okay. Well, you know what? We've made good time. We have. And I wanted to talk about something. But first, before I talk about that, I'll ask you, what's going on? What's going on? Is there anything interesting going on with you? Anything you want to mention?
I used Sinemia the other day, and I got charged $4 to buy tickets, and I was pissed.
Yeah. So Sinemia. Let's set this up. Okay. So Sinemia.
Okay.
For where we are, we don't have what are the other ones?
Movie Pass, AMC, A-List,
and AMC Plus. We don't have your A-List. We don't have that stuff here. We hardly have any reward system for going to the movies. I mean, you got Adam if you use it. That will give you a free movie every once in a while.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
And yeah, when you use Adam, I think it's for every 8 or 5 movies you buy, you get a free ticket.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which, hey, it's it's nice. It's nice. I was actually going through my my order list on there to see what I've bought, and since December, I've purchased 22. I believe, 22 tickets to go to the movies.
Damn.
Since December, yeah.
I'm gonna download that. Okay.
With that, I've got a few free movies now. Cinemia. I didn't know what this was until you told me.
Yes.
And you said it was, you could pay $300 a year, and you can get you could see up to 3 movies a month. And,
for 2
without a fee, Yeah. So you pay $300 for the year.
For 2 people though, and then, too. So it's
for 2 people.
Yeah.
For 2 people, and then you get 3 movies a month.
Yeah. So it's 6 tickets.
You can see that in any theater.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so right there, that sounds like an awesome deal, does it not?
Yes.
Okay, so you go on their website, and it's kind of sketchy. It kind of is. It's you got to jump through hoops to get this thing, and they're supposed to send you this kind of like a credit card. And they say, hey, it could take a month or so, and
I still haven't gotten mine.
I haven't gotten mine. You haven't gotten yours.
But I've been using the app, and it's fine.
Yeah, but and even to that, I hear the app is just a
they've fixed it. They've fixed it. Or at least on I have an iPhone, and the app is so much better on here.
Okay. So set that up. You tell me the other day you're pissed because you have now an additional charge to buy tickets. Do you know what this additional charge is? What are they?
Okay.
Have they claimed why they're charging?
I emailed them. And I got. You know what? I couldn't believe I got I got a response that day, and I was happy about that. It was shortly after, but yeah. So originally, when I first signed up for Sinemia, if any of this is wrong, please correct me or us. But I believe this is what my experience has been. Originally, when I signed up for Sinemia, you buy your ticket. Sinemia covers the cost of the 2 tickets, and you're good to go. But when you get to the movie, you have to open the app and check in. And if you don't check in, you get... I heard some other people saying their membership was put on hold and whatever, but with my experience, the 2 movies I forgot to check in on, I got charged 99 cents. So that's not really a big deal. So another 99 cents, I'm already saving a lot, so 99 cents is not a big deal. And it's on me. I should have checked in. So that happened twice. But now, I saw a movie. What movie did I see? I saw Venom. And the fee was now mandatory. You have to pay a processing fee per ticket, and it's $1.99 a ticket. So automatically, when you buy the tickets, you get charged $4 or $3.98 or whatever. And I thought, what the fuck? If you do the math, that's $4 times 3, because you're going to buy 3 movies a month. So that's $12 a month. And then 12 times 12 for the year. I don't know exactly 12. It's like $144 a year. So you're paying the $300 a year, and now you're actually paying an additional $144 a year if you end up seeing all the movies that you have the right to see. So I was like, oh my God, that's so shitty. So I emailed them and I said, what's up with this fee that I'm getting? And if I'm going to keep getting this fee, I don't want to renew my membership for next year. And they said pretty quickly though.
All right. What did they say?
I was impressed with what they said, but they ignored my "I would like to cancel for next year" thing, which was like, nice try. Let me just open my email here and see if I can find it real quick. It shouldn't be hard. All I'm seeing is the first email that's like, we've received your ticket, and the last email that's like, thanks for helping. If you need anything else. Okay, maybe I'm just not even going to be able to find it. Gmail always confuses me. Okay, I could just sum it up for you because this is just pissing me off. More or less, it's like, Sinemia covers the cost of your tickets, but every ticket purchase requires a processing fee. It was just like kind of like some sham. They never really, like, obviously it's just there to get more money. They don't need to charge this fee because they haven't before. And it was just like, oh, that's kind of bullshit. So I canceled it from renewing next year. I might start it up again. I just don't want to have to lose $300 at the beginning of the year. I just didn't want to forget about it, that kind of thing. So I canceled it. I put it on hold temporarily. So, when the year's up and my Sinemia is out, I'll consider doing it again. Even paying like $450 a year is still savings. Like, you're still saving a lot of money. It just felt shady. And get this, if you don't check into the movie now, they charge you the price of the tickets. So before, when you didn't check in, it was you paid 99 cents. Now if you don't check in, you have to pay like $30. So it's like you just have to be on the ball. That's it. Just make sure you check in. But
even then, should you have to be, like, with all these reward systems? Like, you hear what's like Movie Pass. You hear all the shit that's going on with that. Probably won't be around much longer. Why is it that all these reward system cards, whatever you call them, it's all, you got to jump through hoops.
Yeah,
you got to jump through hoops just to give like these people business.
Well, I imagine AMC A-List is not like that, because the difference between Movie Pass and Sinemia is they're a third-party company, and they're a shady business in that, if you think about their business model, they're just losing money. If people buy this service and use this service, all they're going to do is lose money. Look at Movie Pass. That's what's happening. A lot of it is just preying on people forgetting they have the membership and getting charged for it, because Sinemia has to pay that price of the movie ticket right out of their pocket. So they don't necessarily want people using this service to the fullest potential, because then they start to lose money. And I think Sinemia noticed that, and that's why now there's like these fees to make up for that lost money. And then for people who don't check in, they're getting that money back. Where AMC A-List is, you can only use it at AMC theaters, and all that money just goes directly to AMC. AMC runs that service for their theater, so it makes sense. And I don't think we're going to get that kind of service in Canada because there's very little competition here. You can go to Cineplex, or maybe you can go to Landmark if you're close to one. There's not many, but if you're close to a Landmark, you can maybe go to Landmark, but that's it. There's only the two, and they don't really have to compete. There's not that much competition. Competition will make businesses and companies and products work harder, bring the prices down, make a better product, but in Canada we don't really have that. So Sinemia is the best we got, but I really want like a monthly fee for like a Cineplex where you pay $30 a month, you get to see 5 movies or whatever it is. I think that's
Well, even with you saying that there's not much competition here, wouldn't that make a good opportunity for someone like Cineplex to put something like that out?
well, it's just like they have no reason to. People are gonna go to their theater regardless. Whereas in the States, people have like I'm not sure all the brands. There's like Regal, AMC. I know there's a bunch, but I don't live there. I just hear that from other YouTubers. So it's like AMC theaters want that business there, but why go to AMC when you can go to Regal when it's right down the road? Well, now come to AMC,
but also at
you
the
have
same
this
time,
pass, you know?
Yeah, I get that, but also like I mean, if you look at Venom, Venom's doing great. All the big budget movies do great, but like aren't movie theaters at a place where like they're fine right now, but in the future they may not be?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you think like, okay, let's try to do something here.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. With what? Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's just like I maybe in the future when they're struggling more, that might be a thing. But like right now, it's like if you're in Canada, you're gonna go to a Cineplex, and you don't really have a choice. They don't have to like convince you to come. You're gonna come if you want to see a new Avengers movie. You know, it's like I don't know. But
well, you know what? What I like using is Atom. And with that being said, I think you can't use it for Cineplex yet. They're not working with them.
Yeah.
So I mostly go to Landmark when I use Atom. Why do I like that? It's like I don't have to pay a service fee. It's just, hey, I can pick my ticket through there. I can pick out popcorn or a drink, whatever I want through there. And hey, they'll give me a free movie every 5 or so.
So how does that work? Because like I noticed there's a separate Atom line. So if you buy your tickets and popcorn on Atom, do you go in the Atom line and they like scan your phone or something, then they get you everything?
Yeah. So if you go there, you order, let's say 2 large corns, you get two large drinks, get yourself a slice of pizza, get yourself chocolate or whatever you want to get. You can go into this line where nobody is at, mind you, and you see this huge ass line. When you go and you're like, hey, what makes it convenient is like you remember the days of going to a movie theater an hour before just to get good seats, just to get popcorn, go to the washroom. I don't do that. I live maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes away from the Landmark. I leave the 5 minutes before the show time is, and with that, it still allows me to do everything because I go there. It's on my phone. If I want something, go in a small line, scan it, I get it. Go to entrance, scan it. It's easy. It's fast. Saves time for just everything. So if it shows at 12:45, I leave at 12:40. Sometimes I even leave at 12:45. I still make it. That's how convenient it is.
But you can't use Sinemia with that, can you? Or can you?
I know you can't use it for on Atom, which, hey, I'll bring up my Atom app. So I was exploring it the other day because I never explored it. So let me go here. I go on Atom. It says my profile. So I'm clicking my profile and I go to, where did I go to last time? See, I forget. Okay. So now I'm at settings and I was looking through here and it says reward programs. And I'm looking through it and you can add any of your cards. Like here it shows AMC, A-List, there's a Showcase, Regal, Vision Club. There's a lot. And I was looking for that Sinemia. No Sinemia.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
even got
Sinemia is
a
like
Disney
a whole
movie
other thing.
rewards.
It's not even associated with like movie theater companies because it's a separate thing. So yeah, but the way Sinemia works is it gives you a temporary credit card and you just punch in that credit card information. So if I'm on Atom and I guess it wouldn't work if I'm buying popcorn in the same transaction though. Huh.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't.
No, because it would just cover the price of tickets. I'm sure if you buy tickets just on Atom, it would work.
I would think so. I would think so. If it's given the option to put on one of your reward programs, I'm sure it would.
Yeah, well, it's not even a reward program. It's a credit card. That's all. It's all it is. They give you the credit card information, and yeah. Huh. I'm gonna look into Atom and see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, free ticket when you see 4 movies. 4
movies. So there you go.
Wow. That's solid.
I've gotten a few free movies from them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You're a Scene member, I assume, or are you not? I think we talked about this.
No, I'm not. But usually when I go with people, they are. So that's why I haven't.
Oh yeah, see that's key. That's key.
Yeah.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've done good time. Not going to try to go for too much, but I wanted to
let's be
talk about
careful because
something.
we're at like 50 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep a tight 1 hour limit on this guy.
I'll be quick on this, is that I've mentioned I've been slow to watch, TV shows. I just watched Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and then I jumped on to season 4, which that just had a season finale. Was amazing. And so I decided, hey, I'm going to watch another show. And this show I've stayed away from for a while, and it's The Walking Dead. Why did I stay away from it, though? It's because I remember hearing just a bunch of stuff that it was, a really good show. And maybe this was my first mistake. I had jumped on the season 7 premiere, and I was watching that. That was my first real exposure to it. I was like, what the hell am I watching? Is this really what people love? This is not so good.
I don't even remember. What happens in the season 7 premiere?
I don't remember what happens in the premiere, but I think it was after the whole Negan thing when he came around. I think Negan was the season 6 finale, and then you go right into those two going at it, we're still going at it in season 8. And then I tried watching season 8. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I just couldn't get into it.
Okay.
So that's why I stayed away from, the series. I was like, I can't really get into it. I'm just going to stay away. And one day I decided, hey, let's watch season 1, which is like 6-8 episodes, something like that. And I was, hey, you know what? Season 1, I think it's great. I love it. I remember when I first watched the first 2 episodes, I was thinking, hey, this Rick guy, he's all right, but give me more John Bernthal. I love that guy. And then I said that to somebody, like, just wait, you'll see why, he's not exactly the lead of the show, in which, hey, he goes full Punisher, maybe a bit too much. And yeah, I'm on season 3 now. I think I've got like 4 episodes left. I really like it up until now. I know there's going to be a drop of when I don't like it, but my hope is that now I've got these connections to these characters, I can get through the bad stuff. Season 9 started. Hopefully that's good.
I didn't even realize season 9 started already.
Yeah, it started last Sunday. They've got a new showrunner. And this is what I'm interested in, is that this guy, Andrew Lincoln, Rick, he's leaving the show this season. I'm not even sure if he was just in the first and he's gone. And here's what I don't get. And hey, listen, I get it, but I don't. I don't know anything Andrew Lincoln's been in other than The Walking Dead.
Love Actually.
Okay, even then, I don't remember him in there. So if I'm a guy like Andrew Lincoln and I got this show, regardless if it's gone downhill, you still got people watching it, you're getting paid. I would stick with it, but hey, I'm not him. Like I'm a big fan of Shameless, and Rossum, however you want to say it. Fiona, she announced she's leaving after the season. I'm like, maybe it's just because like I'm a big fan of her that I want her to stay on the show. But I'm like, you're leaving. That sucks. Why don't you stay with what's working? But to me, even more so is with Andrew Lincoln. What the hell? I know you mentioned the one movie, but like, what do you got? And then it came out like, hey, he's gonna come back, but to direct. If you're leaving the show, but you're gonna come back to direct, why not just stay on? But hey, listen,
maybe he's just burnt out. 9 years.
Maybe he's burnt out. Like, okay, but even then, like, if you got something that not many actors can say they've had something that lasts. That man can say that. But,
yeah.
Hey, you said you stopped watching it was because the quality went down.
I gotta tell you, I watched The Walking Dead. I first started on season 3, so I watched season 1 and 2 before season 3 was even out, preparing for season 3, and I watched season 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with my family. Like, so that was like, how long was that? Like, that was like 4 years. My family and I would get together, and it was like a family thing. I would come home on the weekends from school, like when it came to when I was in college or whatever, and watch it. And then it kind of was that to me, or it was like an excuse to get together and have that like mutual experience. But the show, I feel like, is like from season 6 and 7 they're just no good, and it the show just got depressing to me, and like we don't do that anymore. I stopped watching it in season 7, I believe, so I didn't see season 8. I didn't even know season 9 started. It's just the same old thing. Like, I really like season 3. Season 3 is probably my favorite. I have the fondest memories of season 3, but like it's the same old thing, and it's kind of boring, and I don't know. It's just sad. It saddens me.
That was my thing when I watched 7 and 8. I just found it really boring.
Yeah, and you know they're just stretching it out. It's like just so much fat, and it's like get to the point, and I don't know.
That's what I love about Breaking Bad is that they knew when to stop. 5 seasons, we're done.
Yes, and I really like the 5th season of The Walking Dead too. You could just end it there. Just don't keep going. And if Rick dies or whatever, I'll watch that episode. But
yeah. Well, hey, listen. You know why I watched season 7? It was because the whole Negan thing. I heard so much about this guy, and fucking shows up with this bat, and beats this dude's head in.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, okay, I'll get into this. And then I watched, and I was like, this is very boring, bland. The one thing I thought when I was watching season 3, which I like it so far, this isn't an issue for me, but hey, maybe someone who's watched the show is laughing because of what I'm going to say. But so like in season 3, I think it's episode 5, 2 mains bite it.
Yeah, I think that's episode 4. Yeah.
It's episode 4. So 2 mains bite it. And why do I say that's a concern? It worked. It worked in that episode, but usually, when people bite it, it's towards the end of the season. My concern with 9 seasons is that you're just going to kill people to kill people, not for...
They do that a bit.
The episode I was just...
That happens.
The episode I was just watching is they got the Martha from BVS. What's her face?
I didn't
realize
realize
the show.
She's in it.
Maggie. Yeah, Yeah, she was in BVS. She played Martha. So, Maggie. Her and the guy Glenn.
Yes.
They're holed up. Rick and everybody that come to get them. And there's a point there, I'm like, someone's going to die just because they're going to die, which someone dies because they had to die in that episode. And I can see eventually it's going to get like, you're just killing people to kill people now.
Do that.
Do they really need to die?
They do that, yeah. That episode you're talking about in season 3, though, I love that episode. I think that's one of the better episodes.
Yeah, I think it was, it's fantastic.
Fantastico, yes, I agree. But, it's just like, I think a lot of why they just kill people is just for shock and, like, trying to hold on to an audience or bring some audience members back. Like, did you hear they killed blank? And if you watch it in the context of the show, it's like, yeah, but you didn't really need to. There's no point. And they'll argue it's the world you live in. No one's safe. It's a zombie apocalypse, which I get that, but just like narratively, it is odd. Feels odd.
One of the things from what I remember of not liking, I think it's either season 7 or 8, and I don't remember it much. And at that point, I didn't have much context to the show, which I don't think you really need. Is that when I was watching it? And I get you got to build from somewhere. Is that what I really like so far now is that it's a survival show, and I can appreciate what's going on with the camp in season 3, and it works. But from where I know it goes to in season 7 and 8-ish, it bores me that it's less of a survival show than more of a man versus man, at least for those seasons.
Yeah, I actually really like the man versus man aspect in season 3.
Yeah, it works so far in season 3, but at the same time, you still have the core survival element to it.
Yeah. I think like watching season 3 now after seeing like the newer seasons, your season 3
like some of the stuff
gonna be like dwindled a little bit.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff I know where we're heading to.
Yeah,
but without that same point, like hearing certain characters' remarks, I'm like, just you wait, just you fucking wait. Which mostly to that Glenn character, because it makes a lot of references of like I think certain references of death and or like not dying. I'm like, yeah, that's what you think now. Just wait till you fucking get the baseball to the head.
Yeah, and wait till what happens before that, Ben. You're gonna be pissed. This is like one of the things.
You're gonna be pissed?
Yeah, there's something that happens to Glenn. I don't know if you know about this, and it is the biggest fucking sham in the whole show's history. and it pissed me off. Pissed me the fuck off, and it pissed a lot of people off. And I know this was a lot like the turning point for a lot of people disliking or stop watching this show was this event. I don't know if I want to spoil it, but it would have been around season 6, I think. I think it's season 6.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I don't think it happened in season. Maybe it did happen in season 5. You know what? I'm starting to think it's season 5.
Okay. All right. I'll be on the lookout. Yeah. One of my things I can already see that will be an issue for me is the episode count. I'm somebody who doesn't like long seasons. If you can give me 10, 12 episodes, I think that's the sweet spot. Which season 1 was 6 or 8. 2, I think, was 13.
Yeah, they really pad out that run time. And it's season 6 that it happens. It's season 6. I just checked. Okay, season 5 is a good season. Season 6 is where it starts to go downhill.
Wait, isn't season 6 when he gets the baseball to the head? At the end? Yeah, that's when Homeboy shows up, Jeffrey Dean Morgan shows up.
6, the end of season 6 is when he gets... Well, you don't know who gets the baseball to the head. It's a cliffhanger. That was something else that pissed people off.
That was a cliffhanger?
Yeah, he like points at someone and it doesn't show you who he's pointing at.
Oh, okay, so that was the opening of season 7 then.
Yeah. So season 6 ended on a cliffhanger and the internet was pissed. Season 6 also has a fucking cop-out and it was the dumbest thing ever. And it takes away...
I remember when he died, I remember hearing people going like, what the fuck? Why'd you done kill him?
Yeah, you're going to see what happens. It's they do a little twist on it, but it's still like, oh my fucking God. And like something that happens on in the first few episodes of season 6, at the time, it was like, oh shit. But then a few episodes later, you'll be like you're just gonna, you probably won't even believe they did this. You're gonna feel like they're just fucking with you. Anyways.
Okay. One of my, and I'll end it here, is one of my complaints, and I'll still hold to it as a complaint even though they explained it, was, like, I feel like spoilers are fine with this show. Because, I mean, I knew a lot of the show going into it, but I guess I'll give the warning. It's when John Bernthal, when he bites it, I think it's a great scene, but when he dies, he turns so fast, and I was like, what, was that just plot convenience, or did he really have to turn that fast?
I think the way I explain it is like it's different.
Yeah, they explain that, hey, we're all infected and, you know, we die. You know, has there ever been a zombie show or movie that ever has, like, you know, some type of end game to it? 'Cause you never really hear about cures. I know they mention a cure in here, but it's always, you know, I never feel like there's an end game to them.
I'm trying to think of zombie movies with an ending like that. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see The Walking Dead end with a cure or everyone dies or just something.
Or something, yeah.
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 They don't have that shit in mind, I don't think, though. And I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah. 9 seasons. That's so long. 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
you know what? I like it so far. I know I'm not going to like it eventually. Hopefully I can get through that to see where it goes with the new showrunner. I believe new showrunner. See what happens with Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah. And
John Bernthal's supposed to come back for an episode. I gotta assume it's flashback.
Yeah, maybe I'll check that out too. That seems interesting. But yeah, it's a flashback, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's a way to retcon that. Yeah.
All right, Ben. We're at an hour.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna scoot. You know what I gotta say? Watch Better Call Saul. It's like, it's so different than Breaking Bad, but in a good way. It's like, it's the slow burn, but in the best way possible. Season 4. The ending, it's fucking awesome. It's perfect. It ends with the best line you can end a season with. Especially knowing the universe. Okay. Yeah, so I highly recommend.
I've seen the first few episodes of the first season when they originally aired on AMC. I watched them, but I just stopped watching it. But yeah, it's on my watch list, so
yeah, I recommend it.
Okay.
Good shit. That's great.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna end this right now. I'm gonna keep talking. So
okay,
bye for now.
And that's all. See you later. Thank you for watching. Rate us on iTunes. Check us out on YouTube. Do all that. Yeah. Bye.